Hi, this is Dana, and in this video, I will talk about the partnership with God, how you can actually work with God together in determining who you are. Um, I wrote about this in my prophetic writings on my Facebook page. You came on earth with a certain identity. The 3D is essentially a distraction from who you are meant to be. Different type of identity has been associated to you, and this pertains the entire script-based reality of 3D, the parallel realities, the bondage creation, and essentially what that does is it's being created in order to steal your rights, your ranking in spiritual realm, and the rights associated to that, with which you came uh, into this world. And it essentially associates to you a different identity through bondage, fake karma, bondage creation. Um, and you live through that until being awoken. You live through with that identity, which carries a lot of darkness. I explained in previous videos how those are being created. Okay, now there are two things that you can do in a partnership with God to determine who you want to become. And I said that from the beginning. God is open uh, to work with you on whoever you want to become, and He gives you freedom to choose and to evolve as much as you want, as much as you're willing, as much as you can, right? He's going to stand next to you, and He's going to activate gifts on you if you claim specific um, roles, specific identities, specific purposes to achieve. God will act, and if God approves of that, He will activate on you gifts, new gifts to achieve that. Um, this is also why it's so stupid that these people keep stealing identities and doing all of that, because they could get the identity they want if they would work with God. But their purpose is not so much for them to obtain things, but much more to block you from achieving your purpose and stepping into your true ranking and rights, which God gave you upon a birth, as divine rights that you have, right? So you can do partnership with God in two ways. One way is, of course, breaking the bondage of 3D, which the bondage being created on you. It goes very much in detail. It pertains also the family and everything that you will do in you have done so far in 3D, and it essentially attaches to you a certain identity, which most times is not the identity which God gave you at your creation and your birth in this world. Now, before you were given all of this, which is part of the draconian implant, which I described in previous video, um, God gave you a different identity. Now, breaking the bondage, doing spiritual work to break the bondage, essentially means you going back to your initial purpose, right? To your initial ranking, to the divine rights which God gave you upon your birth. So you break the bondage of what 3D meant for you, and the limitations and constraints that were created upon you. Then you reach your soul level lineage, and you reach your true identity which God gave you. So you must understand that until you do that, you will live the life they created for you. So in this lifetime, you have at least two identities. It's the one that you got upon birth from God, divinely bestowed upon you, and the one that was created by the 3D creators, the Matrix. Okay? Unless you break the bondage of the 3D identity which they associated to you, you will not reach your true identity, the divine identity, the one that was given to you by God. Each identity has a specific ranking for you, which determines also the gifts that you are able to use. This is why your gifts get activated only as you start spiritual fighting, because those gifts are activated by God, so you can reach, to become the one who you were meant to be by God. To these two identities, you can add your own creation, and this is the second way in which you can do partnership with God. Namely, you can say, okay, I understand this is who I was born to be with divine right. This is the first identity. The second identity is the one that they created on me, 3D identity. And myself, I would like to do this, something else. I'm not going to give names now. And God will be willing to work with you and to help you add that to your inheritance, to your divine inheritance and your divine identity, which you received upon birth. But all of that you can only achieve through spiritual fighting after you break the bondage which they created on you and the identity they gave to you. Yeah, so these are the ways in which you can work with the divine. You can achieve this by spiritual fighting, of course, and working with your gifts, which gives you divine grace. It gives you beneficity. It activates gifts on you. It gets you protection from God. So you can go through the type of attack that um, you will encounter according to your rank and to your work, that the work that you do. Um, so the true essence um, of you, who you are, you will achieve only after you break the bondage, and you will learn after you break the bondage. God will show you a glimpse of who you are, but the whole truth you will learn after you finish breaking the bondage, right? It is my case. I don't speak from theory, I speak from experience. I did all of what I said so far. I broke the bondage of 3D, the identity which was associated to me in 3D, and I broke the bondages associated to that. I claimed different things that I wanted to do, and God agreed to some. With others, He didn't agree, and He said, "This is not the right time. I keep this in mind. You will do it at a later stage." So it's a process. It's a dynamic process. The partnership with God is really a dynamic process, and you can engage with God in this process of who you want to become. And I said in one of the videos, I think, that for me, the greatest joy is when I get to surprise God by who I become, by how much I evolve, by how much I achieve, right? And I'm talking this now. I'm giving you all these examples. God wanted me to show you because as I broke the bondage and the situational karmic cycle in December 2021, and as we are now in the process of the new beginning, I essentially told God, and I got approval and you write this in your astral letters to the karmic board as well, your requests, your claims, what you want to achieve, why you want that to achieve, how you intend to get around and do that. You get help, you work on that. You don't just claim it and then you think everything gets accomplished. You keep on discussing and um, putting together a plan on that, and you ask help from the divine realm, including from the karmic board and so on, and they will send to you events and individuals and situations which will help you understand how to plan for that and how to achieve that. Okay. So for me, I asked, for example, as I'm facing a new beginning right now, and I finished breaking the bondage. I asked to go beyond the prophecy, the prophetic task and ranking, and to focus on something which was very dear to me throughout my life, namely astrology. And this is because throughout my spiritual fighting, not only that I was always interested in astrology, but throughout my spiritual fighting, it was time and time again confirmed to me that the true essence of the fight, the spiritual fight which we are leading right now here in 3D, it comes from outer cosmos dynamics and realities. And I've already faced some of this in my spiritual fighting, and it is my deep belief that you can actually understand and truly bring down 3D only when you understand the essence and the dynamics and the realities of outer cosmos um, realities and forces. So as I was doing this these days, I was talking with my spiritual guides and with God about how can I do this, how can I move beyond the prophetic legacy and work that I have created, and how can I approach the astrology the dimension, and especially the outer cosmos. God has showed me now that I should share this with other people, because God showed me that other people uh, don't don't necessarily request things. They're just they have more of a static relation with God, and that God would wants me to convey this message and to give my example, so people will understand that God is open if you ask. you know it doesn't mean that God is going to give you everything that you desire and ask instantly, but God will make a way. If you ask something which is way beyond your power and your ranking, God will show you how you can achieve that ranking, so you can get to do what you want to do. There are many ways. It's a very complex partnership with God, and to me, it didn't occur that other people don't have this, type of relation, of dynamic relation with God. So God is showing me that I should share this, so people, first of all, would think more about it, and would ask more, and will enter more into a dialogue with God. And you can find on my prophetic writing page, Facebook page. I did writings in 2019, I think, before I left on my spiritual journey about this, and I gave a few more examples in which how I asked from God. I never negotiated with God, okay, but I asked God for. I said I would like to do this. I really like, for example, I would like to really do something for my spiritual guide, so and so, and God would show me how I can do, and so on. You can define things, and this is what I'm doing now. And God reminded me now, as I was um, uh, trying to put together a plan and discuss and get guidance, spiritual guidance from God, and my druid guide, and my spiritual guides, my other spiritual guides, how to approach the astrology field, and my new my new work in astrology. And as I was doing this, as I was preparing myself for this, God said, you should share this with everyone, so people will understand that this is important timing. It's a new beginning, it's a new cycle, and this is the perfect timing for everyone to be doing this. This should have been started at the karmic board meeting. And I said that when I made the video on astral letters, how you write and how you talk to the karmic board meeting. But you continue that dialogue with all your spiritual guides. You don't just put it in an astral letter to the karmic board meeting and just leave it there in a drawer, because the karmic board meets only twice a year, and you need to already have a plan on how to work on this. So this is why I am sharing this with you. I'm encouraging everyone to become proactive in their relationship with God, and to ask, like I asked now, to already have a plan and start working on astrology and on outer cosmos dimension. Um, this is how you actually can also be proactive in determining your path. This doesn't mean that I don't do, or I don't assume something that God has preordained for me or has in plan for me. It just means God will make sure to incorporate my initial birth rights and ranking and identity with the astrology. And many times, if you feel drawn to something like this, it means, this is what my druid guide actually said to me before I started the video, is because it's part of who you are, as your initial identity. This is not, nothing comes to you just by chance, you know. So since my whole life I've been drawn to astrology, and I've been um, interested in astrology, my druid guide said to me, is because this is who you were, you know, as your initial identity upon birth. This was your divine, this is part of your divine identity. And the bondage they created in 3D on you was because they wanted to block that, in order to block all the knowledge you have on outer cosmos forces and the war, the bigger picture of this war. This is why they created the bondage, the 3D bondage on you. So you're not coming with something out of the blue. You're actually only now becoming who you are. Okay? So I hope this video helps you to understand that you should express yourself, and you should take an active role in determining who you are, because most of the times something that you're drawn to is probably part of who you are, or who you should become. And in any case, I encourage you, it doesn't really matter, you don't have to figure it out from the beginning, but if you feel drawn to something, you should talk to God about it, because I can promise you that God is definitely open to work with you in shaping up your spiritual path. I'm gonna stop here. I hope this helps. I wish everyone to have divine inspiration on shaping up their spiritual path, and their present and their future. And if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to comment. I will answer those, even about future topics that you'd be interested in for me to approach. And please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel, so we will make sure that my knowledge that I share here reaches as many people as possible, in the hope that it will help them on their path. Thank you.